Hi guys, welcome to the Board Sailor. I am your host Avi, and in today's video I wanted to do a quick review on the Powera A enhanced wired controller for the Xbox and the PC. It works on the PC like every other Xbox One controller out there. So far I've actually been using the regular Xbox One wired controller. I wanted to get a controller that had the little paddle shifts in the back, give it a more elite feel. This one is at a sweet spot about 80 bucks, whereas the regular elite controllers that the Xbox One has, which is wireless, is about 150 $160. So quick review on this. I'll give you my feedback, the things I love about this, the things I wish were a little different. Maybe it's just personal preferences. So without wasting any further time, let's get started. So this is the box that it came in. This is the Fusion by Powera A. It's a pro wired controller. Again, it's a wired controller, not a wireless controller like the elite controllers out there by Xbox. But as soon as you take it out of the box, you get this first impression of this elite controller that you're holding. It comes in this really nice bag, really good quality. And again, if you're going to a friend's house to play, or you're going into a competition where controllers like these are allowed, this carrying case is really nice. I know the Xbox One elite controllers also have a carrying case, so for them to include a carrying case for a controller that's half the price is really good first impression right out of the bag. Now this controller is a little bit hefty compared to the regular Xbox One wired controller out there, which probably ranges around the $20-30 mark. This has a little bit of weight. I personally like it because again, it gives you that impression that it is not made out of a cheap plastic or cheap materials, that is really light. This is, again, has some weight to it. So for me personally, this was good. I like it. I like the feeling of the controller in my hand. Like ergonomically, it's good. Also, another thing about these paddle shifts is the fact that, as my camera tries to focus, is that you can actually use it whenever you want to. It's not something that's always on the controller. I apologize that in this video I was absolutely struggling to put this in, but trust me, this is really easy. I've watched a lot of YouTube videos on this and it was really easy to put in, put out. But for me, as always, these things are difficult, even though I am not technologically compromised in any way. But in this one I was struggling, and I wanted to put it in this video because not every tech person out there gets these things right off the bat. If you're someone like me, you're gonna struggle, especially when the camera's on and the lights on you. But I did manage to put it on later, and it works perfectly.
A few moments later,
as you guys can see, I did finally manage to put it on. Again, you can customize this thing whether you want all 4 paddles and you want to control all 4 of them and program all 4 of them. It will take a little bit of a time for you to get adjusted, especially if you haven't used an elite controller or used a controller with the paddle shifts. For me, I'm still trying to get used to it. Another thing that I really like for this $80 controller is that you can also customize the front. You can take off the analog sticks, and they actually give you 2 longer analog sticks that you can use. One of the analog sticks, the left one, is actually a little bit raised higher for me because I prefer it that way. So again, a lot of customizable options. You can also change the color of the rings around the analog sticks. The default one is silver. They send you a green one that again gives you a little bit of a contrasting color. It makes a little bit more appeasing to your eye. So again, the fact that you can do so much customization to a $80 controller is just absolutely amazing. All right, so back to the live screen. What do I think about this controller, the elite controller with the paddle shifts, versus this one, which is just the regular one? Mind you, this is about $80 and this one can cost you like $20 to $30. So is this worth the $50 upgrade, or do you think you can play games just by this one? And to be honest, I prefer this. If you do have some money to spend, but you're not willing to break the bank trying to go get that elite controller from Xbox, which is about 150 170 bucks, then this is really in that middle ground sweet spot. Because again, you get that, you know, premium features where you can customize, where you get the paddles in the back, so for half the price. So why not? The only gripe, and this is personal preference, since I've been using this controller for a very long time, which does not have the paddle shifts in the back, somehow I have been used to holding the controller like this, like gripping it hard when I press the buttons, especially the, you know, these buttons, the R1 R2 buttons. With this one, I have to be a little bit more flexible. I really cannot press down on these buttons too much or hold these like, I guess you want to call these like back legs, because again, when I'm pressing on these, I'm accidentally pressing this and that throws me off, even though if I'm playing a game that I actually haven't programmed any of these paddles for. The fact that I'm pressing on them mentally while I'm playing that game, I'm like, what is this that I'm clicking, like, and something's not happening on screen. Again, even though that nothing within the game is registering the clicks of these when not programmed, in my mind something's supposed to happen because I'm getting that mechanical feedback of me clicking. Again, personal preference, probably something that I will get over with time, but in the initial phases, I wanted to let everybody know this is one thing that you're going to struggle with. Please do not use this as a, you know, deal breaker for returning this controller back. Most of the places that you will buy this controller from either will give you a 14-day or a 30-day return policy. I got this off Amazon, so they had a 30-day return policy. So again, check it out, you know, try and see how you like it. It is going to take some time to adjust as to how you grip the controller, but again, if you're playing games like Fall Guys, for example, which I play on stream and off stream, I actually take the paddles off. But if I'm playing something like Destiny 2 or a PvP game, more competitive, Fortnite for example, or even Call of Duty, where I think having the paddle shifts will help, I do put them on and play. Again, just because I put them on, it does not mean that my gameplay is instantly improved and my KD ratio instantly shoots high. This is still something that you're gonna have to get adjusted to versus all these buttons over here. So is this worth it? In my mind, absolutely, but you can always give this a shot. Again, wherever you're gonna buy this from, make sure that they have a return policy, what their return policies are, especially with everything going on with the coronavirus. I know some stores out there have adjusted or changed their return policies, so check out the stores. This is pretty much available at all of the major retailers, including Amazon. So check what their return policies are. Absolutely get this controller, give it a shot, you know, fire up the games that you always play, that you felt that having, you know, these elite features of these customizable paddles will elevate your gameplay. Definitely get them, give it a shot. It's pretty close to the Scuff controller out there for even the PS4 or the Xbox, but again, Scuffs started about 120 130 bucks. Again, the more features you add to the Scuff, the more higher the price gets. So again, for $80 to get a controller like this, I would absolutely say go get it. For me, absolutely, I'm keeping this controller. I am not returning it, but that doesn't mean the board sailor is going to become a wicked game player with absolutely ridiculous KDs or gameplays, because that is something you will not find on this channel, because I am definitely not that kind of an elite player. But until then, stay safe, stay healthy. I will see you guys soon.